Hey everyone, I'm Andi Timoner and I'm at Paste Sennheiser HQ at South by Southwest 2013, and I am lucky enough to be joined today by Matt Mason, the VP of Marketing of BitTorrent. You may have heard of it. And we actually just finished a piece about BitTorrent on totaldisruption.com or Total Disruption on YouTube, which we were just reminiscing. It was such an extraordinary journey into Bram Cohen's mind, shooting that, and I've just become a huge fan of BitTorrent. Even, I mean, I wasn't a BitTorrent user, to be honest. I'm not a pirate, and I'm not yet geared up as an artist to take advantage of those tools. And I think a lot of artists don't know all the tools that BitTorrent offers, which was why I wanted to have you down today.
Yeah,
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, it's a great place to start. That's what people think. Well, BitTorrent's not for me because I'm not a pirate. But actually, BitTorrent was never for pirates. BitTorrent's a technology which was designed for content creators.
Right, and pirates use the best technology that there is, and the best technology for file sharing of any kind or moving files around.
Yeah, I mean,
is BitTorrent.
Piracy's always been at the birth of. You know when a technology is truly transformative and disruptive, because the first thing it's used for causes chaos. So, when Edison invented the record player, people thought this was a tool for piracy because it made exact copies of live music performances. Nobody saw the record industry coming. Same thing happened with the film industry. There was huge license fees for making films, so all these pirate filmmakers fled to a small town close to the Mexican border where they could make pirate films, and that town was Hollywood. No one sees these things as industries or opportunities or cultural shifts when they first happen. They see them as a problem and as a threat. The first 10 years of BitTorrent's existence were mired in the story of piracy because people see BitTorrent as a huge threat, when actually what it is a huge opportunity, and it's a revolution in how we distribute media.
Did you say the first 10 years? Okay, so BitTorrent was actually created in 2002, so the first 10 years would be until last year.
Right, yeah.
And that's when Matt Mason came on board.
Well,
actually, no, I mean, it's true, right? I mean, you've been involved for a year and a half?
I've been involved for just
and
over
you
a
came
year.
in as a huge fan because you saw it as massively transformative, and you could see how it could be applied in all these ways that people were not seeing because they were blocked by this message of, oh, BitTorrent is a pirate, is a pirating thing.
Absolutely. My background is I'm a content creator. I've worked in branding and advertising, and written books and screenplays and made TV shows and done all kinds of things on the content side. I wasn't a technologist, but I've always seen BitTorrent for what it is, and I had a chance to meet Eric Klinker, our CEO.
He's great.
Amazing guy, incredibly smart engineer. And when he explained to me what he was trying to do with BitTorrent, what he and Bram and the team were working on, I had to come and be part of it.
I think it's also really important to mention that BitTorrent, though created by Bram Cohen in 2002, the technology has not had to have really anything done to it. I mean, how many things in the internet have not changed, been updated or replaced, supplanted in some way?
It's pretty amazing, and it's still moving between 20 and 40% of the world's internet traffic on a daily basis. The BitTorrent protocol is now moving more data every day than HTTP. So every website, every piece of information on the web combined is not as large as the amount of traffic being moved by BitTorrent. And that's because BitTorrent's doing what it's supposed to do. It was a protocol designed to replace HTTP, which is the hypertext transfer protocol designed for moving text. BitTorrent's for moving large media files, and that's most of the stuff that we move on the internet today.
And when I spent time with Bram, he was really obsessed with live video streaming. He wanted to make it seamless, and he also feels that you know, YouTube and all of these other sites that are, even Netflix, when they're digitally streaming, it could be so much better, higher quality if they would just work with BitTorrent.
Well, I'm so glad you said that there's been no major changes in the last 10 years, because it's true. But I think what's interesting is there are some major changes coming to BitTorrent starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so yeah, you're here launching.
Right, so Bram's been working on live as a concept for 5 years. He wanted to be really careful with how we released it into the world and made sure we did the right thing by content creators of all kinds, whether they're giant studios or TV companies, or someone on the street with their phone trying to stream something that's happening that's sort of in the public interest. Those are not always the same needs and audiences, and how we release this technology, because BitTorrent Live, to be clear, I know not everybody knows what it is live streaming with the same philosophy behind BitTorrent applied to it. So with BitTorrent, the more people downloading a file, everybody sharing that file is part of the processing power of moving that file. The more people involved, the faster the speed gets. The problem we've always had with live streaming is live streaming doesn't work like that. The more people watching a live stream on the internet,
the slower it gets.
The slower it gets.
Right.
With BitTorrent Live, the more people watching, the audience is the server farm, they are the processing power. It's a truly sustainable, people-powered technology. The more people watching, the more resilient, the more reliable the stream gets. So you could broadcast a Super Bowl game for free. You could be a protester in a town square in the Middle East, broadcasting to 9 million people from your phone with no government being able to shut that down because the signal's completely distributed. It's an incredible commercial opportunity. It's an incredible social tool. It's going to be more disruptive than the BitTorrent protocol was, but this time we're going to make sure that we absolutely serve the needs of everybody who's part of the digital ecosystem.
So I will just walk around with my phone tomorrow and stream my life on BitTorrent?
So it won't be live on phones tomorrow. So what we're doing tomorrow, to be clear, is we're opening a public beta for broadcasters. So we've been testing it in a closed beta with about 50 broadcasters over the last 3 months. A lot of those guys are streaming 24/7 just so we can iron out bugs, make sure it can scale. We've had a lot of moments over the last 12 months we've just wanted to release it. So Justin Bieber the other week jumped on Ustream and then Livestream and broke them both and kept going to different streaming services, and his fans would follow him around the internet and it just broke, and we were like, should we give him this?
Do it now? Right.
So yeah, we're hoping that we can survive the Justin Bieber test. That's
yeah, well, by the
big
time,
benchmark.
I mean, you know, we all know Paste is pretty badass, but I'm not sure how fast they are editing, but by the time you see this, just go on, you know, do BitTorrent Live.
Justin, challenge.
Justin, come on. You know Justin's glued to Paste right now, looking for what's next. Now you've heard it, Justin. Okay, so what about the artist package?
Sure.
What can I do? You know, how can I use BitTorrent?
So there's a number of different tools and products that we are bringing out and have brought out in the last few weeks that are really going to revolutionize how creators can use BitTorrent. So one of those is a new service called SoShare. And SoShare is designed for creative media professionals exclusively, and it's a way for people to share large files with much smaller groups. So if you're working on a film and you're working with an editor in another country, maybe you can share dailies and you can share B-roll and you can share all the footage very quickly using SoShare. With SoShare, you can send up to 1 terabyte or more file sizes for absolutely free. So the big problem for creative people has been that, you know, there's a lot of great services out there for sharing, collaborating.
Oh, we're shooting all the time. We'll be up in San Francisco shooting geniuses like Bram, and then we'll be trying to send it to our editing house, our office down in Los Angeles.
And it's tough, right?
Oh yeah, we have to sit there for hours.
Yeah, and you're getting stuff back. You're on the road. You might not always be able to
and
open
now
stuff.
It's just
just put it, and that'll work on tablets. That'll work on cell phones. You'll be able to see stuff wherever you are.
This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yeah, this is for creative people. It's a great tool for musicians, for photographers,
that's awesome.
For developers, for filmmakers. It's a huge opportunity. We saw these are the people sharing large files right now. And then, you know, after that, I mean, this is where the internet's going. Like right now, it's professionals like yourself who are sharing giant files, but we've all got HD cameras in our pockets, and it's hard to get giant, beautiful HD files onto the web and to our friends quickly.
Can't even do it. If I shoot a video with my iPhone, it's going to sit in my iPhone until I plug it into my computer and figure out some other way to deal with it.
Right.
I can't just send it out.
This is the promise of distributed technology, and this is the next 10 years of BitTorrent, is solving problems like this. So we all heard about 4K TV at CES this year. There's no way to move a 4K file. There's no way to get that onto an internet-connected TV down a CDN. So we're working with a lot of people in the consumer electronics industries to actually figure out how BitTorrent can become the standard for 4K.
And you know what's incredible about Bram is that, and the team there, I mean, he's attracted the best engineers in the world because he's dedicated to solving problems. He's not dedicated to anything. He's not dedicated to anything else. All he thinks about and all he wants to do is make puzzles and solve puzzles.
Yeah.
And so he's moving. It's people like that move the world forward by leaps and bounds. So. Really glad that you came down today and that we got to hear about this, and tell Bram thanks on behalf of all artists out there. Everybody check out BitTorrent Live. And how do we get the artist package? Just go to BitTorrent.
So yeah, that's one thing. We're also launching a new thing with Alex Day, who's a YouTube star. He's had 100 million views on YouTube. we want to help him get to an even
Out of
bigger
the UK.
audience. He's
Alex,
out of the UK.
right?
He's had 3 top 40 hits. He's got no record label. He's exactly the type of creative that we love at BitTorrent. So we're releasing a new bundle of music with him tomorrow. We'll be sharing all the stems with SoShare so people can make their own mixes and send them back to Alex, and he'll put the best ones up on his YouTube channel.
Wonderful. All right, let's collaborate. It's a total disruption. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Matt. All right, that was great.